Welcome back, everybody, to the show this evening. We begin with the fact that the midterms have begun. Oh no. Don't you feel like we were just in campaign season? We're always in campaign season. That's what you have to understand about politics. Now, this is fun, though. You have Joanie Erns, who's a doctor. She's a pediatrician, is announcing that she's challenging, as a Democrat, she's challenging Lindsey Graham in South Carolina, and put together one of the best political ads I've seen. I don't know much about her, but this ad, in its serious points, but then also kind of notable social media friendly aspect, I think other campaigns should take a note out of this. On Reddit, people were saying, is this the best political ad in decades, or is the bar just super low? So again, this is calling out Lindsey Graham, Dr. Joanie Erns announcing her race against him. A lot to discuss today, but let's start with this.
My name is Dr. Joanie Erns, and for almost 2 decades, I've been a pediatrician in South Carolina. Parents trust me to treat their kids for just about everything you can imagine. This is an x-ray of a kid with measles pneumonia, a condition easily prevented by vaccines. This is a kid with cancer, one of the diseases the NIH doesn't have the funding to study anymore. And this is a kid who's been shot, which, despite being the #1 cause of death for children in America, is no longer classified as a public health crisis. And this kid, and there's really no other way to say this, is quite literally full of shit. And this is an adult who is also completely and unequivocally full of shit.
This is me watching this like a few minutes ago. I was like, yes! Eddie. No, she didn't. No, she did not just say that. Did she drop an S-bomb? All right. But you see what I mean about sort of catching your attention. That's what you need. When Republicans are running, Kamala Harris wants to turn your kid non-binary. Trump is for them. Trump is for you. She's for non-binary. You got to catch their attention some other way.
And this is an adult who is also completely and unequivocally full of shit. Roll the tape.
You know how you make America great again? Tell Donald Trump to go to hell. I like the president. I want to help him. I hope he's successful. You know what concerns me about the American press is this endless attempt to label the guy as some kind of kook. I think he's a kook. He's not fit to be president.
It's embarrassing, and South Carolina deserves better. So today, I'm announcing that I'm running for the United States Senate to replace Lindsey Graham. But this isn't just about Lindsey or even Donald Trump. Take a look around. An unelected billionaire is taking a chainsaw to Social Security, Medicare, and veterans' health care. The vaccine-denying brainworm guy is gutting our nation's healthcare system. The wrestling lady is elbow-dropping the Department of Education. And a guy...
This might just be... I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. It's what I do. That's why you watch the show. It's for the interruptions. This might be too online. I don't know. So don't... Well, Luke, she needs to put... This, though, for me, and I'm not the target audience probably, but is fun and important. The brainworm guy? We can say that now?
Guy who can't even organize a text thread is running the Department of Defense. And Lindsey Graham voted to confirm every single one of these people. It's a lot. All while backing Trump's plan to cut taxes for millionaires and billionaires while raising yours. No wonder he won't show his face here in South Carolina.
I don't need to tell him know what to do.
Lindsey Graham has been a senator for half my lifetime. And as it turns out, most senators don't get better with age.
They hate my guts.
Will winning this race be easy? No. But you can't win if you don't run. And the one thing we can all agree on is Lindsey Graham doesn't deserve a free pass back to D.C. Now, Lindsey is going to tell you I'm radical, that I'm crazy, because that's what weak men do when they feel threatened by strong women. But here's the thing. I'm literally a busy mom and a pediatrician who plays peekaboo with my patients, watches Bluey with my kids. I love Bluey. and spends...
All right, not a high point, but that one kind of went back to the old-fashioned ad. Hi, I'm a normal person. Look, I have a television too.
most of my free time shuttling them to dance, taekwondo, and football.
Okay.
Say hi, kids.
Hi, kids.
So
Get it? All right. I haven't watched this far. Well, first half was good.
radical. I also just happen to be someone who isn't afraid of a fight. And like so many of you, I'm worried about what the future holds for our kids and our state. Everything from failing schools to closing hospitals, the climate crisis and rising prices, to tariffs hurting our ports and auto industry. Worrying won't do anything, but stepping up to join me in this fight just might. A fight where we put common sense over culture wars and hope over hate. Right now, Lindsey Graham is counting on all of us to stay quiet. And that means one thing. It's time to get loud. I'm Dr. Joanie Erns, and I...
All right, so now my full assessment. The first clickbaitable moments were brilliant. I loved them. Loved the pounding of the head on the table. I loved the Lindsey Graham is full of shit, like this kid's x-ray. Oh, I did actually like that. I like the references to the brain worm, right? Because, sorry, people need their attention to be grabbed now. It's a bummer part of our political discourse, but it's just true. And so I'm glad that she did that. Fair criticism would be, well, she didn't exactly lay out what she would want to do. That's something I always have a problem with in ads. I'm Luke Beasley, and I'm running for president on a platform of freedom, making your life better, defeating Trump, and improving things. Join me so that we can fight. What are we fighting for? The ability to fight. Because we won't fight unless we step up to do it. And that's why I'm running to work for you through policies that I'll explain at a different date. That always is a problematic part of ads. I get that it has to kind of stay succinct, and then you go to their campaign website, you can learn more, but maybe that's a fair criticism. But again, just at least take a page, other Democrats running, out of the something punchy, because that's what MAGA did, but the worst form of it, and it worked. So that's one type of message, right? But Senator Joanie Erns is picking a different message as to how she's going to appeal to voters. And that is saying, hey, you're worried about dying if you don't have health insurance? Well, we're all going to die sometime.
So when you were arguing about illegals that are receiving Medicaid benefits, 1.4 million, they are not eligible, so they will be coming off. So people are not, well, we all are going to die.
Oh, Joanie. Joanie. Oh, Joanie. If I were a Democrat right now, I would have just gone a little bit to the restroom in my pants. Well, I may not have been urine. You know what I mean? I would have been very excited. She said, let me play it again. And we're not missing context. They're talking about Medicaid. Someone shouts, people are going to die because of the cuts to Medicaid. Statistically, based off of the studies that have shown people dying because they don't have health insurance, that's a fair point to make. And she says, we're all going to die.
So people are not, well, we all are going to die. Folks. Okay, no, but what you don't want to do is listen to me when I say that we are going to focus on those that are most vulnerable. Those that meet the eligibility requirements for Medicaid, we will...
Of course you'd drink Dasani too, you know? Just the worst water imaginable. Dasani. You might die sooner because you're drinking that, Joanie. Can you imagine saying, we're all gonna die? Like, that better, everyone's saying this, but if I don't see that clip, let me put it a different way. I better see that clip at least 3 trillion. I better see that as many times as dollars that Trump says he brought into the United States. Okay, 10 trillion times. I should see that ad all over the place, constantly. As many times as while I was watching NFL, I had to see Kamala Harris is for they, them. Trump is for you. I want to see that. We're all going to die about Medicaid. Everyone's going to die at some point. Sick, depraved, and politically catastrophic. But also, like, so we got the politics of it, but go to the human component. Imagine someone shouting at you, people are going to die because of cuts to a crucial life-saving program. And how does it even occur to you to go, well, we're all going to die? Like, that, I don't even know. I'm trying to imagine her getting into like her SUV after it and reflecting on the fact she just said that she's not going to live that down, as she shouldn't. Jessica Tarlov said, no, that's an uplifting 2026 slogan. We're all going to die. Joanie Erns for Iowa. My goodness. Tina Smith, the senator, said, I thought my job as senator was trying to keep my constituents alive. Nah, not according to Joanie. Also at this same town hall, you had a former political science teacher criticizing Joanie Erns for doing nothing while Donald Trump uses the government for his own purposes, saying, are you afraid of Trump? Are you corrupt like Trump?
The destruction of the checks and balances that the president has already put in place. He's fired inspector generals. He's fired the leaders,
Inspectors General, sir. Or maybe not. I never really know.
Leader of the federal government that disagrees with him on any political notion. He has fired, and he's even pursuing lawsuits against those who lawfully acted and challenged him in the past when he was trying to overthrow the government. Now he has taken over the government. And he's been very clear about it. He's been good about it. In 4 months, he's made it into a dictatorship. And the worst thing that I think he's done is this. Obviously, the changes, I used to teach political science and history when I first became a teacher after leaving the U.S. Navy. And what I taught about was the 3 branches of government, the checks and balances and balance of power, to our kids in southern Iowa in the high school where I taught. Those are all gone now. And the worst thing is the Senate and the House of Representatives have been rendered useless. And you folks have let it happen. You've sat back and done nothing. The House is the best example. We're still seeing on the Senate, looks like there's a little gumption to fight back against the new dictator. But this has been like a Nazi blitzkrieg, and you folks have sat and done nothing. Now, I know that you were going to go against Pete Hegseth, who is an incompetent fool running the Department of Defense.
I don't know what these, this is so great. Like, just getting to go to a town hall, and I'm sure there's some Republicans there. Maybe this individual is, I really don't know. I don't care. But it's just, you get a full hour to just metaphorically use your senator as a punching bag. But it's important stuff to bring it up. But it's just, it's quite the imagery.
But you got scared. So my question is this. Are you afraid of Trump? Are you corrupt like Trump? Or are you just at the point you don't care anymore and that's why you don't do anything?
Those are your options. Pick one. Multiple choice, Joanie. A, you're an idiot. B, you're corrupt. C, you're a lunatic. Which one? You pick.
No.
D, all of the above.
So, no, first, thank you for your service. I do appreciate that. Obviously, I don't agree because I don't think our country is being destroyed. On the other hand, I see...
Yeah, this is productive. Oh gosh, I can't. Can we go watch again? It's so insane. How do those words leave your mouth?
People are not, well, we all are going to die.
What if a bomb drops on your head right now?
Exactly. None of us know. That's where I'll leave it. Share your thoughts in the comments.